In this audiobook, we're diving into the power of silent intention. It's the unseen force that shapes your reality, without you ever needing to say a word. Let's explore how harnessing this silent power can help you attract what you truly desire. Heal your soul and align with the universe in ways you've never imagined. The power of silent intention. Welcome to the power of silent intention. In a world full of noise, there is a quiet power within you that doesn't need to shout to be heard. This is the power of silent intention. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy shape your reality, not through loud words, but through quiet focus. When you align with your true intentions in stillness, the universe responds. This book is a guide to tapping into that silent force, showing you how small shifts in your energy can lead to profound changes in your life. Through each chapter, you'll discover how silent intention can transform your mind, relationships, and success. Chapter 1. What is silent intention? You've probably heard the word intention more times than you can count. Set your intention, live with intention, manifest with intention. But rarely do people talk about the kind of intention that speaks loudest of all, the silent kind. Silent intention isn't about chanting affirmations or posting dream boards on your wall. It's not about repeating mantras or talking about what you want with everyone around you. Silent intention is deeper. It lives in your bones, in the breath you take when no one is watching, in the way your heart leans quietly toward the life you truly want without begging for it. It's not loud because it doesn't need to be. It trusts. It holds space. It believes long before there's proof. Silent intention is the quiet decision within you that says, I know who I am. I know what I desire. And I trust that it's already on its way. Most people think action creates reality, but the truth is, energy does. The frequency you carry when you walk into a room, the quiet certainty in your chest when you close your eyes and see yourself already living your truth, that's what shifts things. You don't need to convince the universe with your voice. You need to align your energy with what you say you want. And that energy doesn't come from effort. It comes from stillness, clarity, and truth. Silent intention works because it doesn't fight. It doesn't beg. It doesn't rush. It holds. It stays in alignment. It chooses belief over fear, presence over noise. It trusts that the moment you become internally aligned with something, the outer world begins to respond. Think about it. Have you ever wanted something so deeply, but instead of chasing it, you simply knew it was yours? Maybe it was a relationship, an opportunity, or a personal breakthrough. You didn't force it. You just started living as if it were already true, and somehow, almost magically, it arrived. That wasn't luck. That was the power of silent intention at work. And here's the secret most people miss. Silent intention isn't passive. It's active in the most grounded way possible. It requires you to show up daily, not with noise, but with presence. To keep showing up for yourself, to act in ways that match the life you're calling in, not because you're pushing, but because you're flowing. It's a subtle dance between surrender and alignment. You don't need to chase what's meant for you. You just need to become the kind of person who naturally attracts it. Silent intention is the opposite of desperation. It's inner peace, used with focused vision. It's knowing your worth and trusting divine timing. And once you begin to tap into it, once you truly begin to practice it, you'll realize you've been holding a kind of power all along that no one ever taught you how to use. In a world obsessed with external validation, constant speaking, posting, explaining, and proving, silent intention is a radical act of trust. It is you, finally deciding that your energy is enough, that your stillness is strength, that your deepest truth doesn't need to be shouted to be heard by the universe. You don't have to tell the world what you're manifesting. You just have to become the living proof of it. Chapter 2. The language beyond words. There's a language you've spoken since the day you were born. A language that existed before you ever learned to speak, and one that still whispers louder than your voice ever could. It's the way your Energy walks into a room before your feet do. It's the pause between two people who love each other, where no words are needed. It's the shiver you feel when something just feels right, even if it makes no sense on paper. This is the language beyond words, the soul's native tongue. You use it every day without realizing it. When you feel someone's sadness, even if they're smiling, when a stranger's presence comforts you though they've said nothing, when you walk into a place and just know you don't belong, or that you absolutely do. These are not coincidences. They are signals, energy waves, vibrations. Your body understands them even if your mind tries to translate them into logic. But here's the beautiful truth. This silent language is more honest, more sacred, and more universal than anything spoken aloud. While words can be twisted, masked, or misused, your energy always tells the truth. You don't have to speak your pain to feel seen by someone who's attuned to your presence. You don't have to scream your desires to be heard by the universe. Your intention, when it comes from a calm, authentic place, carries weight in realms you can't see. Think about how a mother knows her child is upset without hearing a word, or how animals sense danger before it arrives. This isn't magic. It's not superstition. It's awareness, deep awareness. And it's been within you your entire life. The problem is we've been taught to ignore it. We've been trained to put more trust in words and noise in what's external. But those things can lie. The soul never does. Silent intention, your quiet focus, your inner pull, your raw, wordless desire, speaks this ancient language. And the more you listen to it, the more fluent you become in it. You'll begin to feel your way through decisions instead of overthinking. You'll sense what's aligned before a single fact is given. You'll attract things into your life not by chasing but by becoming. That's the shift. That's where the magic lives. Not in louder prayers but in clearer presence. Not in fancy affirmations but in honest emotion. You are always sending messages to the world through your attention, your focus, your presence. And the world is always responding. So the next time you want to create something, attract something, become something, start within. Hold the feeling gently. Sit with it. Let it move through you without pressure. The universe is listening to your energy more than your words. Speak through your being. And trust this language that doesn't need to be spoken to be understood. It already lives in you. It always has. Chapter 2. The language beyond words. There's a language you've spoken since the day you were born. A language that existed before you ever learned to speak. And one that still whispers louder than your voice ever could. It's the way your energy walks into a room before your feet do. It's the pause between two people who love each other, where no words are needed. It's the shiver you feel when something just feels right, even if it makes no sense on paper. This is the language beyond words, the soul's native tongue. You use it every day without realizing it. When you feel someone's sadness, even if they're smiling. When a stranger's presence comforts you, though they've said nothing. When you walk into a place and just know you don't belong, or that you absolutely do. These are not coincidences. They are signals, energy waves, vibrations. Your body understands them even if your mind tries to translate them into logic. But here's the beautiful truth. This silent language is more honest, more sacred, and more universal than anything spoken aloud. While words can be twisted, masked, or misused, your energy always tells the truth. You don't have to speak your pain to feel seen by someone who's attuned to your presence. You don't have to scream your desires to be heard by the universe. Your intention, when it comes from a calm, authentic place, carries weight in realms you can't see. Think about how a mother knows her child is upset without hearing a word. Or how animals sense danger before it arrives. This isn't magic. It's not superstition. It's awareness. Deep awareness. And it's been within you your entire life. The problem is we've been taught to ignore it. We've been trained to put more trust in words, in noise, in what's external. But those things can lie. The soul never does. Silent intention, your quiet focus, your inner pull, your raw, wordless desire, speaks this ancient language. And the more you listen to it, the more fluent you become in it. You'll begin to feel your way through decisions instead of overthinking. You'll sense what's aligned before a single fact is given. You'll attract things into your life not by chasing, but by becoming. That's the shift. That's where the magic lives. Not in louder prayers, but in clearer presence. Not in fancy affirmations, but in honest emotion. You are always sending messages to the world through your attention, your focus, your presence. And the world is always responding. So the next time you want to create something, attract something, become something, start within. Hold the feeling gently. Sit with it. Let it move through you without pressure. The universe is listening to your energy more than your words. Speak through your being. And trust this language that doesn't need to be spoken to be understood. It already lives in you. It always has. Chapter 3. Your inner frequency. You are not just flesh and thought. You are frequency. There is an energy that hums beneath your words, beyond your actions, and before your intentions. You can walk into a room without saying a word, and people feel you. That's not magic. That's vibration. Every emotion you carry, every belief you nurture, every thought you silently repeat, creates a signal. This signal travels ahead of you. It shapes how people respond to you, how opportunities find you, and how the universe rearranges itself around you. When you hold bitterness, your frequency contracts. When you carry love, it expands. And the most powerful part? You can shift it at any time. No one taught us this in school. They didn't say, hey, your piece is more powerful than your resume. But it is. People don't just hear your words, they tune into your energy. This is why some people seem to effortlessly attract kindness, success, or peace. It's not luck. It's alignment. They've learned consciously or not how to tune their inner signal. And you can too. It starts with noticing what you carry inside. What story are you repeating? What belief is humming in the background? What do you feel when no one's around? Your inner frequency is not what you say you want, it's what you believe you deserve. When those two things match, life starts to flow. You don't have to force it, you don't have to prove it. You just become it. That's the power of silent intention. That's the beauty of being aligned. Chapter 4. Stillness is not emptiness. We live in a world that worships motion. Constant movement, constant scrolling, constant noise. But in chasing the loud, we've forgotten the sacred. We've confused stillness with laziness and quiet with a lack of productivity. The truth is, stillness isn't emptiness. It's fullness without chaos. It's a moment where life breathes without our interference. In that sacred silence, we meet parts of ourselves that don't scream for attention but simply exist. Calmly, purely, powerfully. Stillness doesn't mean you're doing nothing, it means you're listening to everything that truly matters. It's where you stop reacting and start receiving. The world outside may tell you that to succeed you must push louder, climb faster, chase harder. But what if the most powerful transformations happen when you do the opposite? What if clarity, healing, inspiration, all arrive not when you chase but when you become still enough to let them find you? Most people run from stillness because they're afraid of what they'll hear in the silence. But the silence only reveals what's already there. Truth, longing, fear, wisdom. When you sit with it instead of fleeing, it turns from a stranger into your greatest teacher. In stillness, your mind may tremble at first, tossing thoughts at you like a storm. But if you stay, if you breathe, if you listen, something beautiful happens. The storm quiets, the thoughts soften, and underneath it all you realize there is a space within you that has always been untouched, unbothered, and whole. This space isn't empty. It's rich with knowing. It holds your forgotten dreams, your inner peace, your quiet strength. And when you act from this space, your decisions carry power. They don't come from pressure, but from presence. They don't come from proving yourself, but from knowing yourself. Stillness gives you access to that deeper part of you, the part that doesn't need to be seen to be worthy, the part that already is. When you truly understand that stillness is not absence, but sacred presence, your entire relationship with the world changes. You no longer feel the need to respond to every opinion, fight every battle, or explain every choice. You realize that your peace is too precious to be spent on things that don't grow your soul. And that realization? That's freedom. True freedom. You carry stillness with you into conversations, into conflict, into moments of doubt. And people feel it, because real stillness, true inner quiet, is magnetic. It calms the room, it creates space for truth to rise. And here's what might surprise you. The more still you become, the more powerful your intention grows. Because without the noise, your focus becomes pure, your energy becomes aligned. And when you set an intention from that place, it doesn't need volume to move mountains. It simply needs faith and follow-through. So don't fear stillness. Don't mistake it for doing nothing. The deepest rivers make the least noise. The strongest trees grow in silence. And the most awakened lives are born not in frenzy but in presence. Stillness is not emptiness. It's your highest, most connected self, finally coming home. Chapter 5. How Thoughts Shape Energy. We live in a world that often tells us to do more, speak louder, move faster. But underneath all the noise is a quieter truth. What you think, you become. Not in some dreamy, feel-good cliché kind of way, but in a very real energetic sense. Every thought you have carries a frequency. It's not just an idea floating in your head. It's a vibration your body and spirit begin to match. When you think of fear, your chest tightens, your breath shortens. When you think of peace, something soft opens inside you. That's not accidental. Your body, your aura, your presence, they all respond to your thoughts before you even take action. This is why your thoughts are not just private moments. They are creative tools. Quiet tools. Yes, but powerful nonetheless. Most people underestimate their inner world because it's invisible. We were never really taught that the quality of our inner dialogue is the blueprint for our outer reality. We treat our thoughts like background noise, unaware they're quietly carving the shape of our day. But the universe listens. Not to what you say when you're trying to manifest something quickly, but to what you think when no one's watching. The thought you return to over and over again becomes a broadcast. And energy, like everything in nature, responds. It aligns, reflects, and sends back what you consistently hold. This is why you can't fake vibration. You might smile through your teeth or speak affirmations aloud, but if your silent thoughts are rooted in fear or doubt, that's the signal you're truly sending out. Think about a time when someone walked into the room, and even before they said a word, you could feel their energy. Maybe it lifted you. Maybe it drained you. Either way, their thoughts, though unspoken, were shaping their field. That's how real this is. You are doing that too. Right now. Every thought you think is either expanding your field or contracting it. And the difference isn't whether you're thinking positive or negative. It's whether your thoughts are aligned with truth or fear, peace or resistance. Even a silent thought of surrender can soften a whole moment. Even a single quiet belief in yourself can change your posture, your breath, your next move. Here's something most people miss. Thoughts come before emotion, and emotion fuels energy. If you think a thought like, I'm not good enough, it triggers a feeling, maybe shame or anxiety. That emotion vibrates through your body, and now your energy carries that story, even if your mouth says something different. That's why healing begins in thought. It's not just about meditation or quiet moments, although those help. It's about catching the thoughts that are shaping your life without permission, and changing them gently from the inside, from what if I fail, to what if this is exactly what I need to grow, from I'm not ready to I'm learning and that's enough. These small shifts are massive in the energetic world. They're not noise. They're signals. You don't need to be perfect in your thinking. That's not the point. You just need to be aware. Aware that every thought is an invitation. Every thought says, come with me. Let's feel this way. Let's shape this moment. And you get to choose which ones you follow. This is the real work. The inner alchemy. Because when your thoughts begin to change, your energy changes. And when your energy changes, your life will too. Chapter 6. The Intention Behind Action. We live in a world that worships hustle. Everywhere you turn, there's a message telling you to move faster, do more, push harder. But few ever stop to ask, why? What's behind the doing? What's fueling the action? Because the truth is, action without intention is just noise. It's movement without meaning. It's running in circles while your soul stays still. But when you move with clear, silent intention, when your action is born from a deep place within you, everything changes. You're no longer just trying to get somewhere. You're already in alignment with where you're meant to be. And from that still place, action becomes sacred. It becomes art. Think of the people you admire most, not just for what they achieve, but for how they move through life. You'll notice something. There's a quiet presence behind everything they do. Calm focus. A clarity that doesn't need applause. That's the power of intention. It's not about saying the right words or doing the right thing. It's about being clear on why you're doing it. When your heart is clean, when your energy is grounded, your actions ripple out with far more impact than force ever could. It's not always about doing more. It's about doing less with more presence. You can chase goals endlessly and still feel empty. But when you align your inner state with your outer steps, even the smallest act becomes meaningful. Even silence becomes powerful. So before you act, ask yourself, is this coming from fear or love? Ego or purpose? Proving or expressing? Because the universe doesn't just respond to what you do, it responds to the frequency you do it in. And when your intention is pure, when it's aligned with your soul, doors open. People feel it. Life flows. That's the hidden truth the world doesn't talk about. Your energy behind the action matters more than the action itself. The world may not always notice it, but the results will. Quietly, organically, without resistance. That's the magic of moving with intention. Chapter 7. Noise versus knowing. In our fast-paced world, we're constantly surrounded by noise. It's in the hum of our phones, the clamor of endless notifications, the chatter of social media, and the constant bombardment of opinions and demands from the people around us. It's easy to get lost in this noise, to feel overwhelmed and unsure, as if the world is pressing in on every side, urging us to make decisions, take action, and react. But what if we could step back for a moment and see that all this external noise is drowning out something much more powerful, something that is already within us, that something is knowing, a deep, quiet understanding that doesn't come from the chaos of the world but from the stillness of our own hearts and minds. The noise we hear, both internally and externally, can be loud and persuasive. It tells us what we should want, how we should feel, and how we should behave. It's a constant stream of thoughts and opinions that often pull us in 1,000 different directions. This noise creates confusion, doubt, and indecision, making it nearly impossible to hear the quiet whispers of our own intuition. We start to believe that if we're not constantly moving, achieving, and doing, we're not enough. This noise feeds our insecurities, our fears, and our need for validation from the outside world. But in reality, this noise only masks the clarity that lies within. Knowing, on the other hand, comes from a space of deep self-trust. It's the quiet certainty that arises when we connect with our true selves, beyond the surface level of thoughts, emotions, and external circumstances. It's the feeling of alignment, the sense that everything is right, even when the world around us seems chaotic. Knowing doesn't need to shout or demand attention. It simply is. It's the gentle knowing that tells us which path to take, what decision is right, or when to stay still and trust the process. The key difference between noise and knowing is that noise is external, while knowing is internal. Noise is loud, distracting, and often rooted in fear, whereas knowing is quiet, subtle, and rooted in love and clarity. Noise is reactive, while knowing is responsive. Noise tells us to do, act, and chase, while knowing encourages us to be, trust, and align. The noise of the world will always be there. It's a part of living in a world that's constantly changing. But knowing? Knowing comes from stillness. It's the part of us that has always been there, quietly guiding us, whether we're aware of it or not. So, how do we move from noise to knowing? The first step is to create space. In a world that's constantly pulling at us from every direction, it's essential to carve out moments of quiet where we can reconnect with ourselves. This could be through meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting in silence for a few moments each day. It's in this space that we can begin to hear our inner voice, the voice that has always known the way. This is where true wisdom lies, not in the chaos of the world, but in the calm center within. But creating space isn't just about physical silence. It's also about emotional and mental quieting. The mind loves to chatter, constantly offering opinions, judgments, and worries. It tells us stories about what could go wrong, about how we're not enough, and about all the things we need to do to be worthy. But when we learn to quiet the mind, we begin to hear something else, our inner wisdom, the quiet knowing that transcends fear and doubt. This knowing doesn't need to justify itself or explain itself. It simply is. And here's the truth. The more we practice listening to that inner knowing, the stronger it becomes. It becomes easier to differentiate between the noise of the world and the calm clarity of our true selves. We start to trust ourselves more, to make decisions from a place of confidence, and to take actions that are aligned with our deepest values and desires. When we embrace knowing over noise, we move through life with a sense of peace and purpose. We stop seeking validation from others and begin to trust that the answers we need are already within us. We stop chasing after what we think we should want and start creating lives that are aligned with who we truly are. The world around us may remain loud and chaotic, but within us there is a quiet power, a knowing that can't be shaken by external circumstances. In the end, it's not about getting rid of the noise. It's about learning how to tune it out so we can hear the voice of our own knowing. The more we listen to this voice, the more we trust it, and the more we allow it to guide us, the less we feel the need to react to the noise of the world. We begin to move through life with a sense of calm certainty, knowing that we are always exactly where we need to be. So the next time the noise of the world starts to overwhelm you, take a step back, breathe deeply, create space, and listen. The answers are already within you, quietly waiting to be heard. Chapter 8. Listening to the inner whisper in the chaos. Of our daily lives, it's easy to forget that there is a quiet, steady voice within us always guiding us, if only we listen. This is not the loud, demanding voice of our ego or the persistent noise of our doubts. This is something far subtler. The inner whisper speaks in quiet nudges, in soft feelings, in moments of clarity that seem to arrive without warning. It's the voice of your deepest truth, your soul's silent language trying to connect with you. But to hear it, you must first quiet the storm of external distractions, the hustle, the pressure, the noise. In a world that constantly urges you to do more, be more, and prove more, this whisper often goes unnoticed. Yet it holds the key to your greatest desires, your truest purpose, and the peace you seek. When you start to listen to it, you begin to notice how much easier life flows. Your decisions become clearer, your relationships deeper, and your sense of purpose sharper. This whisper is not just a fleeting thought. It's an invitation to trust your intuition, to align with the stillness within, and to create a life that is truly yours. It's in the moments when you pause, breathe, and simply allow yourself to hear that the magic of silent intention begins to unfold. This is the power of listening to your inner whisper. It's the quietest yet the most profound source of wisdom you'll ever find. Chapter 9. From reaction to response. We've all been there. The moment when someone says something that triggers us. It might be a casual comment, a word that stings, or an unexpected action. In those moments, your heart races, your mind floods with thoughts, and instinctively you react. It feels automatic, almost as though you have no control over it. But what if I told you that this response, this reaction, doesn't have to define who you are or how you handle life? The difference between reaction and response isn't just in the words we use. It's in the energy we bring into the world. When we react, we are driven by emotion, sometimes fueled by anger, fear, or frustration. These emotional reactions are usually knee-jerk, coming from a place of defense or unresolved inner tension. The moment is instant, but it often leaves a residue of regret or confusion. We speak before we think, and our energy carries the weight of that reaction long after the moment has passed. But when we respond, it's different. A response is thoughtful, conscious, and aligned with our higher self. It's born out of awareness, not impulse. It allows us to take a breath, process the situation, and decide how we truly want to show up. The key difference is intention. When you respond, you're coming from a place of inner calm, even if you don't have all the answers. You're no longer controlled by the outside world. You are grounded in your own energy, choosing how to act with clarity and purpose. Think about the last time you reacted to a stressful situation. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic or an email triggered frustration. In that moment, the thoughts came quickly. Your body tensed, and perhaps the words or actions you took weren't in line with the person you truly want to be. These reactions often come from a place of fear of losing control, fear of being judged, or fear of conflict. But here's the truth. Reactions come from a place of lack, while responses come from a place of fullness. When we're triggered, we often feel that something is being taken from us, or that we're being misunderstood. We feel like we need to defend ourselves or make our point known, sometimes at the cost of peace. But in a moment of response, we recognize that nothing is truly being taken from us. Our sense of self is not threatened by someone else's behavior. We understand that our peace is a choice, not a condition, and we can maintain that peace regardless of external circumstances. Now let's talk about how we can shift from reaction to response. It starts with awareness. The next time you feel that familiar emotional spike, pause. That's the first step. Just a simple pause. Before you speak, before you act, take a deep breath. Feel the breath fill your lungs and allow it to ground you back in the present moment. In that breath, you reclaim your power. You take control of your response. You recognize that the outside world does not dictate how you feel. It is always within your power to choose. Another powerful tool is to reflect before acting. Ask yourself, what do I really want to achieve here? In times of tension, our instinct is often to fight back or prove a point. But what if your goal was peace? What if your goal was understanding? When we take a moment to align with our deeper desires, like maintaining inner peace or connecting with others in a meaningful way, the way we respond shifts dramatically. Our actions become more intentional, and the energy we project is one of calmness and clarity. A big part of responding thoughtfully is also understanding where the other person is coming from. Often their actions are not about us at all. They are reflecting their own fears, insecurities, or pain. When you respond instead of reacting, you give yourself the space to see that. It doesn't mean you need to agree with them, but it helps you to step out of the emotional cycle of conflict and into a space of empathy. In a world that often demands instant gratification, reacting has become the norm. We are taught to act quickly, to have the last word, to keep up with the chaos. But deep down, we know that this doesn't bring us peace. Peace comes when we choose to respond, not just to external events, but to ourselves. It's about checking in with your own emotions, recognizing the stories you tell yourself, and understanding that you can respond with kindness, clarity, and strength regardless of what's happening around you. The next time you feel triggered, try this. Take a breath, pause, and remember that your peace is always yours to choose. When you choose to respond instead of react, you stop giving away your energy to things that don't serve you. You shift from being at the mercy of external circumstances to being the creator of your own reality. So, how do you want to show up in the world? As a person who reacts out of fear and frustration, or as someone who responds with grace, clarity, and intention? The power is always in your hands. You have the ability to choose your response, and in doing so, you begin to transform your life from the inside out. Chapter 10. Rewiring the mind with still focus in a world that never stops, where distractions are constant. The true art of rewiring the mind begins with something counterintuitive: stillness. Most people are unaware that true focus isn't about forcing your mind to concentrate harder. It's about learning to quiet the noise inside and allow your true thoughts to rise naturally. The constant hum of external demands, societal pressures, and the endless scroll of information often fill our minds with static. But here's the secret: you can't hear the whispers of wisdom and intuition if you're constantly surrounded by noise. To truly rewire the mind, you need to reclaim your attention, not by force, but by aligning it with intention. Think of the mind as a garden. When weeds of unnecessary thoughts overwhelm it, nothing pure or productive can grow. But when you practice stillness, you clear the ground, allowing your intentions to take root. This doesn't mean ignoring the world around you. Rather, it means becoming so grounded in your own presence that external events lose their power over you. Imagine being able to go through your day with a calmness that's unshaken by the chaos around you. That's the power of still focus. When your mind is aligned with a clear, centered purpose, every decision you make, every action you take, begins to flow more effortlessly. And here's the beauty: you don't need to wait for the perfect moment to make this shift. You can start right now, with the quiet space between your thoughts, and build from there. The mind is incredibly adaptable. It doesn't take years of intense effort to create lasting change. It simply takes moments of deep, focused stillness throughout the day. Slowly but surely, these moments stack up, rewiring your brain's natural patterns and replacing reactive, scattered thinking with calm, deliberate focus. The more you practice, the more you begin to see a shift in your life, because the way you think is the way you live. And when you master the art of still focus, you unlock a new level of personal power. This power isn't about changing who you are, it's about returning to the core of your being, the part of you that is always calm, always centered, always connected. By rewiring your mind with stillness, you not only become a more focused individual, you become someone who radiates quiet strength, drawing in the life you've always wanted without forcing a thing. The world around you may be noisy, but inside, you can find an ocean of peace. It's up to you to dive in. Chapter 11. The law of vibration. Everything in the universe at its core is energy. That's not just a lofty idea, but a fact rooted in science, philosophy, and even spirituality. From the atoms that make up the chair you're sitting in to the thoughts you're thinking, everything vibrates at a certain frequency. The law of vibration tells us that this frequency, this unique energy, plays a crucial role in shaping our reality. But here's the kicker: it's not just about the energy around us, it's about the energy we emit. Think of it like this. Imagine you're holding a tuning fork. When you strike it, it begins to vibrate at a certain pitch, sending waves through the air. Now imagine that you're the tuning fork. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every action you take, sends out vibrations into the world. Just as the vibrations from the fork travel and create an effect, your own vibrations ripple outward and influence the energy around you. But why does this matter? Why should you care about your own vibrations? The answer is simple. Like attracts like. According to the law of vibration, you attract what you emit. If your thoughts, feelings, and actions are filled with love, gratitude, and positivity, you will attract people, situations, and opportunities that resonate with those frequencies. If, however, your inner world is full of fear, doubt, and negativity, you will find yourself in situations that reflect those emotions. Now, this isn't some woo-woo idea pulled from the ether. It's grounded in reality. Modern science has shown that our brainwaves, emotions, and even physical bodies are in constant motion. Everything is vibrating. In fact, even your cells are vibrating at certain frequencies, and these vibrations can be affected by your thoughts, your feelings, and your environment. It's crucial to understand that the vibration you emit is not just an invisible force floating around. It's a signal you're constantly broadcasting into the world. And just like any signal, it can either attract or repel certain things. Think about the last time you felt in flow, when everything seemed to fall into place effortlessly. What was your energy like during that time? Likely you felt confident, positive, and open to the universe. You were vibrating at a high frequency, and because of that, you attracted opportunities, people, and outcomes that matched your energy. On the flip side, think about times when you felt stuck, drained, or just off. When we're caught in negative thought patterns, our energy lowers. We may start to see setbacks, feel blocked, or encounter challenges that seem to appear out of nowhere. But in reality, these situations are simply reflections of our own low vibrations, reflecting the emotional state we've put ourselves in. Now, you might be wondering, can I change my vibration? The answer is a resounding yes. The beauty of the law of vibration is that you have the power to change your frequency at any time. You can begin shifting your vibration simply by changing your thoughts, your focus, and your actions. It doesn't require huge life changes or massive efforts. It's often the small shifts, choosing gratitude over frustration, choosing love over fear, choosing calm over stress, that make the biggest difference. For example, have you ever tried waking up in the morning and simply saying, "I'm grateful for today"? Start your day with a high vibration. Even when things go wrong, practice finding the silver lining. It's a choice you make. And with each small shift, you start attracting more of what you want. You begin to sync up with the energy of the universe and draw in the people, places, and experiences that resonate with your higher self. But here's something important to remember. Changing your vibration doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing where your energy is and consciously deciding to shift it. It's about realizing that even in tough moments, you have the power to choose how you respond, and that choice impacts your frequency. In essence, the law of vibration is a reminder that you are not a passive observer in this world. You are a powerful creator, and your energy, your vibration, is the most potent tool you have. Every moment is an opportunity to fine-tune your frequency and align with what you truly desire. Your vibrations are the silent force guiding your life. So, what are you choosing to broadcast today? Chapter 12. Your emotional signature. Have you ever walked into a room and felt an undeniable shift in energy? Maybe it was a sense of calm, or on the flip side, an overwhelming tension. That subtle but powerful influence is your emotional signature. Play. Your emotions are not just fleeting feelings, they are signals, an invisible yet tangible imprint that you leave on everything you touch. Imagine that each emotion you experience is like a fingerprint, unique to you. The way you feel shapes your energy, and in turn, that energy communicates something far more powerful than any words ever could. Just as a piece of music can evoke tears or joy without saying a word, your emotional state becomes a silent message to the world around you. But here's the real beauty. Your emotional signature isn't just reactive. It's something you can consciously create and refine. Every moment you choose peace over anger, gratitude over frustration, or love over fear, you are actively crafting the emotional signature you want to project into the world. This is where silent intention begins to work its magic. You don't have to announce what you want. You simply embody the feeling of what you want to attract. This emotional energy draws people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your inner state, often without you even realizing it. So, take a moment and reflect. What is your emotional signature right now? What message are you unknowingly sending into the universe? Understanding the power of your emotional energy means recognizing that no matter the circumstance, you hold the power to recalibrate your feelings and, in doing so, change the course of your life. This chapter is an invitation to tap into that power, to refine and shape your emotional signature intentionally, and to watch how the world begins to respond to you differently, because when your energy shifts, everything else follows. Chapter 13. Belief without the noise. Belief is powerful. It's the quiet force behind every achievement, every change, every transformation. But too often, belief gets drowned out by the noise, the expectations of others, the chaos of modern life, the constant bombardment of social media, news, and opinions. We are surrounded by loud voices telling us what we should believe, what's right or wrong, and how we should live our lives. In this noise, our own inner belief often gets lost. But true belief isn't loud. It doesn't need to be shouted from the rooftops. In fact, the truest form of belief is often the quietest. When you strip away the external noise, you come to realize that belief isn't something you have to work hard to create. It's already within you. It's that subtle, silent knowing that says, I am worthy, I am capable, I trust the process. It's the feeling you get when you let go of the need for validation or constant approval. It's the calm confidence that grows when you believe in yourself and your path, even when the world tells you otherwise. The trick to cultivating belief without the noise is to quiet your mind. The more you listen to the external distractions, the more you drown out the inner wisdom that has been quietly guiding you all along. In this chapter, we explore how to reclaim that silent belief, how to tune out the chaos and reconnect with the unshakable confidence that resides in your core. Belief without the noise means trusting that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. It's not about impressing others or seeking constant validation. It's about knowing deep in your heart that you are enough. You are exactly where you need to be. And while the world may scream doubts and limitations at you, your belief remains a soft, steady force that moves you forward, no matter the external circumstances. True belief is subtle. It doesn't force things to happen. It allows things to unfold naturally. It doesn't require shouting affirmations at the mirror or constantly reminding yourself of your worth. It's in the quiet moments when you choose to trust yourself, when you make decisions from a place of inner peace rather than from a place of fear or insecurity. When you remove the noise, you begin to listen to your intuition. You start to hear the soft whispers of your soul that guide you, gently nudging you in the direction that feels right. And while the noise outside may continue, you will find that the noise inside starts to fade. You'll find that your belief grows stronger, not because of anything you've done or said, but because you've simply allowed it to be. The more you practice silence, the clearer your belief becomes. It becomes an unwavering force that doesn't need to be questioned. It becomes the foundation upon which everything else is built. Belief without the noise is powerful because it doesn't rely on external factors. It is rooted in a deep understanding of who you are and what you're capable of. In a world that thrives on distractions and opinions, belief without the noise is a quiet rebellion. It's the courage to trust yourself, to take action without needing the approval or recognition of others. It's the strength to keep moving forward, even when the road is uncertain. It's the quiet conviction that the universe is unfolding in your favor, and everything you need is already within you. You begin to embrace belief without the noise. You'll notice that the world around you starts to shift. The doubts that once clouded your vision will begin to dissipate. You'll feel lighter, more confident, and more aligned with your true purpose. And the most beautiful part? You won't need to make any noise to make it happen. Your belief will speak for itself. Chapter 14. Creating space to receive. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to feel like you're constantly on the move, striving, working, and trying to achieve more. But there's a powerful truth many of us overlook. You must create space to receive. Just as nature creates empty space for new life to bloom, you too need to clear the clutter from your mind, your heart, and your environment to allow something greater to enter. This isn't about striving harder or pushing more. It's about surrendering to the flow of life and trusting that, when you make room, what you desire will find you. The art of receiving starts with understanding that you are worthy of all the good things you've ever hoped for. Many people block their own blessings because they don't believe they deserve them. But the truth is, receiving isn't a privilege. It's a natural part of the cycle of life. Just as day turns to night and seasons change, receiving is an essential counterpart to giving. If you're always giving, always seeking, always acting, you're not leaving room for the universe to return that energy to you. So how do you create that space? First, take a step back and recognize the emotional clutter that might be filling your life. Are there old wounds you haven't healed? Resentments you're still holding on to? Negative thoughts or limiting beliefs that cloud your vision? These are the things that fill the space where your blessings should go. They take up room, block your flow, and prevent you from welcoming new opportunities. Creating space to receive begins by doing the emotional work, letting go of what no longer serves you, forgiving both yourself and others, and being willing to embrace new possibilities. Next, consider the physical space around you. Your environment is a reflection of your inner world. If your surroundings are cluttered or chaotic, it's likely that your mind feels the same way. When you clear out physical clutter, whether it's a messy desk, an overcrowded closet, or even old unused items in your home, you're symbolically clearing the way for new things to come. You're opening the door for abundance to flow in. Take the time to create a space that feels peaceful, inviting, and organized. This doesn't mean everything has to be perfect, but a tidy space will allow your mind to relax, focus, and receive. Another key part of creating space to receive is shifting your mindset. Many of us are taught that we have to earn every good thing that comes our way, that we have to hustle and work ourselves into the ground to deserve success. But this mindset blocks the natural flow of abundance. You don't have to force or chase. Instead, approach your desires with a sense of openness and trust. Recognize that everything you need is already on its way, and all you have to do is make room for it. This doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means acting with intention, but not from a place of desperation. When you're in a state of abundance, you know that good things come effortlessly, and you don't have to chase them. Creating space to receive also involves a deeper understanding of gratitude. When you're grateful for what you already have, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. Gratitude clears the air and opens your heart, allowing you to receive new blessings with open arms. If you've been feeling stuck or stagnant, it might be time to take a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. Even in challenging times, there's always something to be grateful for, whether it's your health, your relationships, or the simple joys of life. Gratitude shifts your energy from scarcity to abundance, making space for all that's waiting for you. Lastly, trust the timing of the universe. Creating space to receive is also about letting go of the need to control everything. Sometimes, the things we want most are not immediately available to us, not because we don't deserve them, but because everything has its right moment. Trust that the universe knows what's best for you, and that what is meant for you will come at the perfect time. Patience is a vital part of creating space. When you let go of the anxiety around when and focus on the present moment, you clear away the barriers to receiving. By creating space both within yourself and in your environment, you make room for the blessings that are meant for you. Whether it's a new job, a meaningful relationship, or financial abundance, you must first believe that you are worthy of receiving these things. You must clear the mental clutter, release old wounds, tidy up your space, and most importantly, trust that what's meant for you will find its way to you. And when it does, you'll be ready, not just to receive, but to embrace it with open arms, knowing that you've made space for everything that will elevate your life. Creating space is not just about what you let go of, it's about what you make room for. Chapter 15. Aligning energy with desire. Desire is more than just a wish or a want. It's the heartbeat of your soul, a calling from within that pulls you toward your purpose. But here's the truth. Desire alone is not enough. You can want something deeply, but if your energy is out of alignment with that desire, you'll find yourself stuck, spinning in circles. The magic happens when your energy, your thoughts, feelings, and actions are in perfect harmony with what you seek. Think of it like a radio station. If you're tuning into a station that plays one song, but you're on the frequency of another, you won't hear what you're meant to hear. You'll get static, confusion, and frustration. But when you align yourself with the right frequency, when your inner world matches your outer desire, the signals become clear, and what you seek can flow toward you. Alignment isn't just about thinking positively or wishing for the best. It's about feeling your desire in your bones. It's about believing you are worthy of what you want, knowing you can have it, and acting in ways that reflect this truth. You can't want a new job, for example, and then spend your days feeling insecure or doubting your abilities. If you're constantly worrying or resisting, your energy is sending out a conflicting message and the universe doesn't know what to bring you. So how do you align your energy with your desires? First, you have to ask yourself, what's the underlying feeling behind this desire? If you want financial abundance, for instance, the feeling behind that desire might be freedom or security. If you want love, the deeper desire might be connection or trust. Once you identify this emotional core, you can begin to embody it in your everyday life. But it's not just about feeling, it's also about being. Aligning your energy means living as though your desire has already manifested. It's about acting from the place of confidence and trust, even when your outer world hasn't caught up yet. This doesn't mean pretending or forcing yourself to act inauthentically. It means choosing to step into the version of yourself who already has what you desire. When you live from this place, you create an energetic match that draws your desires closer to you. One of the key practices to aligning energy with desire is meditation or quiet reflection. This helps you connect with the deeper part of yourself, the part that knows exactly what you want and why you want it. In these quiet moments, you can visualize your desires already coming to fruition, allowing your mind to experience the joy, peace, or satisfaction that will come with their manifestation. The more you practice this, the more naturally you will align your energy with your desires, and the more the universe will mirror this alignment back to you. Remember, your energy is magnetic. Every thought, every feeling, every action you take sends a signal to the universe. If you want to attract a certain experience, you must become the energy of that experience. You must embody the essence of what you desire, in thought, in feeling, in action. Only then will you begin to see the world shift in alignment with your inner state. Alignment takes time, patience, and trust. It's not about forcing things to happen or rushing the process. It's about settling into the knowing that everything is already on its way to you. As you align your energy with your desires, you'll start to notice the synchronicities, the opportunities, and the subtle shifts that confirm you're moving in the right direction. You'll stop feeling like you're chasing something elusive, and instead, feel as though what you desire is chasing you. At the core, aligning energy with desire is an act of self-love and self-trust. When you believe that what you want is possible and deserving of you, the universe will mirror that belief and bring you everything you've been waiting for. So, take a moment now to ask yourself, what would it feel like if my energy and desires were perfectly aligned? The answer, my friend, is magic. Chapter 16. Trusting the delay. Have you ever felt like you're stuck, like nothing is moving forward, even when you're putting in all the effort? We've all been there, waiting for results, for success, or for a sign that everything is aligning as it should. But what if I told you that the delay is part of the process, not something to be feared or avoided? That the waiting is not a signal of failure, but a time for preparation, growth, and alignment with what you truly desire? We live in a world that thrives on instant gratification. We order food with the push of a button, we binge-watch entire seasons of shows in one sitting, and we expect answers to our questions in seconds. This fast-paced world has taught us that waiting is inefficient and that the quicker we move, the better. But when it comes to the silent power of intention, things are a little different. The most profound shifts in our lives don't always come with immediate rewards. In fact, sometimes the universe asks us to wait, to trust that what is unfolding behind the scenes is far more significant than what meets the eye. When you trust the delay, you open yourself up to a deeper understanding of how things truly work in the world. It's easy to get frustrated when your plans don't unfold as expected, but here's the truth. The universe isn't on a schedule. It works in its own rhythm, which sometimes requires you to pause, breathe, and allow things to unfold at their own pace. When you rush, you miss the lessons that delay brings. You miss the wisdom, the growth, and the peace that comes with trusting that the right things are coming at the right time. Think about it. The The seeds you plant today don't grow into trees overnight. There's a cycle, a natural process of nourishing the soil, waiting for the right amount of sunlight, and allowing the rain to fall. Just like nature, your intentions need time to take root. Trusting the delay means understanding that this time of waiting is not wasted time. It's when your soul is aligning with what you truly need, when the universe is gathering the right people, resources, and opportunities for you to move forward. It's also about learning patience with yourself. So often, we are our own harshest critics, pushing ourselves to move faster, to achieve more, and to be somewhere we think we should be. But in the stillness, when we take a breath and trust the delay, we give ourselves the space to be human. We recognize that we don't have to have everything figured out right now. We don't need all the answers. In fact, some of the best answers come in the quiet moments, in the pauses between the action, in the gap where patience meets wisdom. Trusting the delay isn't about being passive. It's about knowing that action and rest go hand in hand. It's not about doing nothing. It's about allowing things to unfold naturally without trying to force them into existence. It's about aligning with the timing of your life, understanding that sometimes the best thing you can do is wait. Trusting the delay means stepping back, releasing control, and allowing the universe to surprise you with opportunities that are better than what you originally imagined. Here's the beauty in this. When you stop forcing things to happen and start trusting that everything is happening in its own time, you will feel a sense of relief and peace. The weight of worry, of wondering if you're doing enough, begins to lift. You realize that you're not running out of time. Rather, you're running with time. Every step you take, even in stillness, is a step toward alignment with your deepest desires. So the next time you feel like things aren't moving fast enough, remember, delay is not denial. It's an invitation to trust the process, to listen to the whispers of your inner voice, and to be present in the waiting. The universe is never late, and neither are you. Chapter 17. Detachment is power. Detachment is not about abandoning your dreams or walking away from the things you love. It's not about being cold or indifferent. In fact, detachment is one of the most powerful tools you can possess because it frees you from the emotional weight that often holds you back. It creates a space for clarity, for the things that truly matter to come into your life without resistance. When you detach, you step away from the fear of losing, from the desperation of wanting things to happen in a certain way, and from the struggle to control every outcome. In the world we live in, we've been taught that attachment is the key to success. Hold on tightly to your goals, your relationships, your things, your future. But in reality, attachment often leads to suffering. It creates a sense of neediness, a fear that what you desire is always just out of reach, or worse, that you might lose it. This creates a cycle of anxiety and stress, keeping you trapped in the very things you want to break free from. True power comes from knowing that your happiness, your peace, and your fulfillment are not dependent on external circumstances. Detachment is not about cutting yourself off from the world. It's about understanding that your peace doesn't come from the outcome. It comes from within. It's the ability to live fully, to give your best, and to put your energy into something, all while knowing that the result does not define you. When you let go of the need to control every detail, you open yourself up to unexpected blessings, new opportunities, and the true essence of peace. The paradox of detachment is that when you stop needing something to happen in a certain way, it often happens better than you ever imagined. It's in letting go of the need to control the universe that you align yourself with the flow of life. The universe has a way of surprising us when we stop grasping so tightly. Detachment in this sense isn't about giving up. It's about trust. Trust that everything will unfold as it should, even if it doesn't look the way you expected. Think about a time in your life when you were attached to something or someone. Maybe you felt a sense of need, an urgent desire to have things go in a certain direction. Now reflect on how that attachment made you feel. Was there anxiety involved? Were you constantly thinking about how to make it happen, trying to force things into place? Now think about the times when you simply let go, when you released control, Did things unfold more easily? Was there a sense of peace or even a surprising outcome? Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it's the opposite. In fact, detachment allows you to care more deeply because you're no longer bound by fear. When you detach, you are no longer driven by the need for approval, success, or material things. You simply act because it feels right, because it aligns with your values, and because you believe in the process. You give without expecting, love without clinging, and strive without desperation. The true power of detachment lies in the freedom it gives you. When you stop worrying about the how and when, you can fully embrace the what and why. Detachment doesn't make you passive or indifferent. It makes you powerful because you are no longer ruled by your desires or fears. You've shifted from living in reaction to living with intention. One of the greatest gifts of detachment is the ability to be present. When you stop looking for validation or outcomes, you are free to enjoy the moment for what it is. Life becomes richer when you embrace it fully without the burden of attachment. Whether it's in your work, relationships, or personal growth, detachment allows you to be present without the anxiety of needing it to be perfect. As you step into the flow of life with detachment, you begin to understand that the best things often come when you stop forcing them. You learn to trust that your path is already unfolding as it should. And in that trust, you find power, true, unshakable power that comes not from holding on, but from letting go. Chapter 18. The Magnetic Mind. The magnetic mind is a concept so simple yet so profound. It's not about the loudest thoughts or the most forceful actions. It's about the energy you radiate when you're aligned with your purpose, when your mind, body, and spirit are in sync. This energy becomes a force that naturally draws people, opportunities, and experiences toward you, as if the universe itself is responding to your inner signal. Think about it for a moment. What does it feel like when you're truly in the flow? When you're not forcing things, but instead allowing everything to unfold naturally? You might have experienced this during moments of deep creativity, in a conversation that felt effortless, or when everything just seemed to fall into place. That is the magnetic pull of a mind that is calm, centered, and aligned with its deepest desires. A magnetic mind doesn't chase. It doesn't beg. It doesn't overthink. It doesn't get tangled in the worry of whether things will work out or not. Instead, it radiates a quiet confidence, a knowing that what is meant for it will come at the perfect time. It attracts because it is steady, focused, and clear about what it wants. When you're in this state, your energy is not chaotic or desperate. It's steady, purposeful, and open. Imagine a magnet. A magnet doesn't need to exert force or shout for attention. Its pull is silent, yet it's undeniable. The same is true for your mind when it's operating from a place of deep intention. The clarity you radiate is like a signal to the world around you. People, opportunities, and even circumstances begin to rearrange themselves to match that frequency. It's like you've unlocked the secret code to attract the things you've always wanted, without chasing them. The magnetic mind is rooted in trust. Trust in the process, trust in your abilities, and trust in the universe. When your mind is magnetic, you stop doubting your worth, your ideas, and your ability to create change. You stop measuring your success by the conventional standards of speed and outward results. Instead, you measure it by your inner peace and the quiet confidence you carry. You attract effortlessly because you know that what is meant for you will never miss you, and what isn't simply isn't aligned with who you are. This magnetic pull also comes from a place of non-attachment. The key to magnetic energy is in your ability to hold a desire without the desperate need for it. It's about having the clarity to know what you want, but releasing the grip of needing it immediately. The more you let go of the attachment to what comes, the stronger your pull becomes. This is not about passivity. It's about trust. Trust that the right things will come to you when the time is right. You stop pushing and start aligning. Your mind's magnetic power isn't just limited to attracting things, it's also about what you repel. When you are clear about what you stand for, what your values are, and what your purpose is, you begin to repel what no longer serves you. Toxic relationships, distractions, and unnecessary noise simply have no place in your life. And because your mind is clear, your boundaries are strong. People and situations that are out of alignment with your energy simply cannot stay in your orbit for long. Becoming a magnetic mind also means mastering your thoughts. Your thoughts create your reality, and when you learn to control them, you control the energy you emit. A magnetic mind is one that practices awareness, mindfulness, and focus. It doesn't allow negative or limiting beliefs to have a place in its world. It understands that it is the creator of its own reality, and it takes responsibility for the energy it puts out. So how do you cultivate a magnetic mind? It begins with inner work. Quiet the noise in your life, both external and internal. Practice mindfulness. Meditate. Spend time in nature. Do what helps you reconnect to your inner self. Once you are aligned with your core being, everything outside of you will begin to shift. Opportunities will appear. The right people will come into your life. And what was once difficult will become effortless. Ultimately, the magnetic mind is about becoming an embodiment of what you want to attract. It's about aligning your thoughts, your energy, and your actions with the reality you wish to create. When your mind is magnetic, you no longer have to chase anything. What's meant for you will be drawn toward you, effortlessly, naturally, and with perfect timing. You are already a magnet. The question is, are you ready to tune into your true frequency and start attracting the life you deserve? Chapter 19. Speaking to the universe. Without words, when we think about communication, our minds often race to words, the conversations we have, the sentences we speak. But what if I told you that the most profound conversations are often those that happen without any sound at all? The universe, in all its vastness, does not require us to shout our desires into the void. In fact, it listens most intently when we speak from a place of stillness, when we allow our energy, our intentions, to become the language through which the universe hears us. Think about the last time you sat quietly with your thoughts, when your mind wasn't cluttered with the need to control or define, and you simply felt. In that moment, you were communicating with the universe in a way words never could. Every feeling, every vibration that you emitted was a message. The universe doesn't need our words to understand our deepest needs. It feels our energy, hears our intent, and aligns with it. In silence, we become open vessels, sending signals not through language but through the raw power of our being. The universe does not measure your requests by how loudly you ask, but by the frequency at which you resonate. It listens not just to what you want, but to what you believe you are worthy of. It feels the trust you hold in your heart and aligns its course accordingly. Imagine that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all vibrations, sending ripples into the vast sea of existence. Each ripple is a silent message, a wish, a prayer, a desire. When you align your inner world without speaking a word, you send a message to the universe that says, I trust. And in that trust, the universe responds, matching your energy with its own. This is the power of silent intention. It's the art of speaking to the universe without uttering a sound, knowing that every moment of stillness holds the power to shift your reality. Chapter 20. Reclaiming your presence. In today's fast-paced world, we often lose sight of the most important thing we possess, our presence. We're constantly bombarded with distractions, notifications, and demands on our time. It's easy to forget how powerful we truly are when we're constantly giving away bits of our energy to things outside of ourselves. The truth is, your presence is your greatest asset. When you reclaim it, everything in your life starts to change. Presence isn't just about being physically in a room. It's about showing up fully, emotionally, and energetically. It's the ability to be in the moment, without allowing the noise of the outside world to take over your thoughts. It's the art of letting go of what you think you need to do and embracing what you are right now in this exact moment. Many of us live in a state of automatic pilot, responding to life's pressures without pausing to check in with ourselves. We do what we think we should do, follow the routines we believe are expected, and in the process, we lose our true selves. Reclaiming your presence is about getting back to the core of who you are, to the quiet, still part of you that isn't influenced by the demands of the world. It's about recognizing that your worth isn't determined by how much you can do or how fast you can run, but by the simple fact that you exist, fully and unapologetically. Think of a time when you were truly present, when everything around you seemed to fade away and you were completely immersed in the moment. Maybe it was during a conversation with a loved one, a walk in nature, or even while you were lost in your thoughts. In those moments, you are the most powerful version of yourself. You can feel it deep within, the stillness, the calm energy, the connection to everything around you. When you are present, you are not just experiencing life. You are living it fully. Presence allows you to see the truth. When you're truly present, you can see people for who they are, not through the lens of your judgments or preconceived notions. You can listen without interrupting, speak without needing approval, and act without fear of making mistakes. The moment you step into your presence, you step into your power. It's easy to think that reclaiming your presence requires a grand, life-altering shift. But in reality, it's much simpler than that. It starts with small, intentional acts. It starts with slowing down for a moment, taking a deep breath, and checking in with yourself. How do you feel in this moment? Are you aligned with your true self, or are you caught up in the whirlwind of distractions? Are you present, or have you let the world dictate your reality? Reclaiming your presence also means setting boundaries, not just with others, but with yourself. In a world where everyone is demanding more of your time, attention, and energy, it's essential to remember that you get to decide where you focus. You don't have to be everywhere at once or do everything perfectly. When you give yourself permission to step back and say no to the things that drain you, you make room for what truly matters: yourself. Presence also requires forgiveness. Often we carry guilt or shame over past mistakes, or we worry about things that haven't even happened yet. But none of that serves you. The only moment that truly exists is right now. In this moment, you are free. In this moment, you have the power to choose. By forgiving yourself and letting go of the past, you make space to step into the present. Presence is a practice, not a destination. You won't suddenly arrive at a place where you are always fully present. Life will still throw challenges your way, and distractions will continue to pop up. But the more you reclaim your presence, the more you will feel grounded in who you are, no matter what's happening around you. Every time you make the conscious choice to show up for yourself, you reclaim a piece of your power. As you begin to reclaim your presence, you'll notice a shift in how you interact with the world. You'll start to experience life with more clarity, joy, and connection. You'll feel more grounded, more in tune with your emotions, and more aligned with your purpose. Your relationships will deepen, your decisions will become clearer, and you'll finally understand that your presence is enough. You don't have to do more, be more, or prove anything to anyone. Just being fully present is the most powerful thing you can do. You are enough as you are. Your presence is a gift, not just to yourself, but to the world. So, take a moment today to pause, to breathe, to reconnect with the energy that's always been inside of you. In that quiet moment, you will find everything you need. Chapter 21. The Observer. In the midst of life's chaos, there lies a quiet observer within you. It's a presence so subtle yet so powerful, it's often mistaken for the background noise of our thoughts and emotions. But once you begin to tap into this deeper layer of awareness, you realize that this observer is the key to unlocking true peace and clarity. The observer is not involved in the drama of your day-to-day life, but rather stands apart, watching without judgment, without attachment, and without interference. Imagine it as a calm witness to everything that happens around you, like standing at the edge of a vast ocean, watching the waves come and go, but remaining untouched by them. In this space, you are no longer your thoughts, your emotions, or the chaos around you. You are the awareness behind it all. It's in this still, silent observation that you find your power. The observer is not concerned with right or wrong, good or bad. It simply watches, allowing things to unfold without resistance. This perspective is liberating because it means you are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. Instead, you are aligned with the present moment, understanding that everything is temporary, fleeting, and ultimately You are the one who chooses where to direct your focus. This chapter invites you to step into that observer role more consciously. It's about creating space in your life to simply witness, without reacting, without judging, without pushing away. The more you practice being the observer, the more you realize that you can remain anchored in your center, no matter what's happening around you. You stop identifying with your circumstances. You stop letting emotions dictate your actions. Instead, you become the still point, the calm in the storm. And here's the beauty of it. The observer is not separate from you. It is you. It's your true essence, stripped away from all the noise, conditioning, and external expectations. It's the silent intention behind every decision you make. This observer within you is where all clarity and peace originate. It's the foundation from which your most powerful intentions arise. So, when life feels overwhelming or chaotic, remember that you can always return to the observer within. Just breathe and watch. Watch the thoughts, watch the emotions, watch the circumstances, but don't engage. Let them pass by like clouds drifting across the sky. And in this space of quiet observation, you'll find your center. You'll find the power of silent intention. The more you embody the observer, the more effortless it becomes to align your inner world with the external world. Because the observer isn't just passive, it's an active presence that influences your environment simply by being present. The more you practice this quiet presence, the more you become the energy that others feel without you saying a word. People will start to sense that you are grounded, centered, and unaffected by the chaos they may still be entangled in. Your silent energy, anchored in the observer, creates a ripple effect that not only changes you, but changes everyone you encounter. It's in the stillness of the observer that you find the key to creating your reality. Your thoughts, actions, and energy become aligned with a higher purpose. And when that happens, your life starts to unfold with ease and grace. So take a moment now, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and observe. Don't try to change anything. Don't try to fix anything. Just watch. And in that watching, you will begin to remember who you truly are. The observer, the silent intention, the one who holds the power to shape your life in ways you never thought possible. Chapter 22. Silent intention in relationships. In any relationship, whether it's romantic, familial, or with close friends, the power of silent intention is often the invisible force that shapes the connection. Too often we think we need to speak loudly, express our needs constantly, or even act out of desperation to make a relationship work. But what if the most profound shifts happen when we stop trying to control the narrative and simply let our silent energy speak for us? Silent intention in relationships is not about withholding your thoughts or feelings. It's about aligning your internal world with the energy you wish to create with others. The quiet confidence of knowing exactly what you want from the relationship and maintaining a deep inner peace creates a magnetic field that draws mutual respect and understanding. Imagine approaching your partner or loved one with no need for words, just a knowing that your energy aligns with theirs. In those moments, the connection deepens not because of what you say, but because of what you silently radiate. This doesn't mean being distant or disconnected. It's about cultivating a quiet presence, a calm that invites open-hearted communication and vulnerability. When you trust the power of silent intention, you stop chasing validation or approval. Instead, you begin to create a space where others can meet you at your level, where your intentions are so clear they don't need to be spoken out loud. This kind of silent presence allows for a deeper level of understanding, where misunderstandings dissolve before they even have a chance to form. In relationships, silent intention nurtures trust, creates emotional safety, and opens doors to a more fulfilling connection. By focusing on the quiet power of what we project internally, we discover that sometimes silence is not the absence of communication, but the deepest form of it. When you intentionally focus on peace, love, and respect internally, that is what you'll naturally invite in your relationships without having to force or explain it. Chapter 23. Healing. Without a sound. Healing doesn't always need to be loud. In fact, the most profound healing often occurs in the spaces between words. In the stillness where our minds quiet and our hearts open. When we speak of healing, many of us envision medicine, therapy, or the rush of conversations about our pain. But true healing, real, lasting transformation, begins in silence. It begins in the places we can't hear. The silent conversations we have with our bodies, the unspoken understanding that flows when we allow ourselves to simply be. Think about the moments when you felt the deepest relief, the moments where the weight of your stress, anxiety, or fear just lifted. Was it because someone told you to let go? Or was it because in that moment you finally allowed yourself to be still enough to experience it? Healing doesn't demand an audience. It doesn't need validation. It simply needs the space to unfold. When we are still, we become open to the flow of energy around and within us, whether we're aware of it or not. The body, the mind, and even the spirit communicate with us in subtle ways, guiding us towards balance, towards restoration. But this requires patience, a willingness to embrace silence, and a deep trust that healing is already happening, even when we can't see it. Think of the ocean, how it heals the shore with its rhythmic waves, not by crashing violently, but by softly, steadily shaping it. Healing is the same. It's not about a sudden explosion of change, but the quiet, constant rhythm of attention, self-compassion, and presence. When we release the need to control, to make things happen on our timeline, we allow healing to occur naturally. Healing without sound is about the unspoken. It's the breath you take when you feel tension in your shoulders, the subtle shift in your energy when you spend time in nature, or the calm that spreads through you when you take a few minutes to sit in silence. These simple, silent moments are the foundation of healing. They don't require a diagnosis or a prescription, just an openness to listen not with your ears, but with your heart. The world is loud, and in its noise, we often forget that the answers we seek have always been inside us. Our bodies, our minds, our souls, they know how to heal, but we must allow them the quiet to do so. Healing without a sound is the most powerful kind of transformation. It's the type that comes from within. It doesn't demand attention, and it doesn't need anyone else to believe it. It simply is. And in its gentle unfolding, we become whole again. In learning to heal without a sound, we learn the greatest lesson of all, that sometimes the most profound changes are the ones that happen in silence, in stillness, and in the quiet moments when we trust that we are enough, just as we are. Chapter 24. When the world is loud, stay quiet. In a world that never stops, the constant buzz of information, demands, and distractions can feel overwhelming. Everywhere you turn, there's a noise, whether it's social media, work, or the never-ending chatter from the people around you. The noise becomes so familiar that we often forget what it feels like to experience true silence. But here's the thing. Silence is not emptiness. It's the space where you reconnect with your deepest truths, your purpose, and your intuition. When life feels loud, and you're overwhelmed by all that's happening around you, quieting your mind is the most powerful thing you can do. It's not about running away from the world or turning off your phone. It's about choosing to shift your focus from the external noise to the stillness within. In fact, in today's fast-paced society, the ability to embrace quietness is more than just a luxury. It's essential for mental clarity and emotional well-being. You might be thinking, but the world is demanding my attention. How can I stay quiet when there's so much noise? The truth is, staying quiet doesn't mean you're disengaging from life. Instead, it means that you are choosing to anchor yourself in your inner peace rather than letting the noise dictate your emotional state. The world will always be loud. There will always be things competing for your attention. But if you learn to tune into your inner world, you'll find that you have a steady, calming presence that can carry you through even the most chaotic situations. When things get noisy, we often lose sight of our own voice. We start to drown in the opinions of others, the demands of society, and the never-ending need to keep up. It's easy to forget who we are, what we want, and what we stand for when we're constantly reacting to the noise. But if you take a step back, you'll Realize that your power lies in your ability to remain grounded amidst the chaos. It's in these moments of quiet that you are able to hear the whispers of your intuition and find clarity on your next steps. Think of the ocean. No matter how rough the waves get on the surface, the water beneath remains calm and still. Similarly, when you stay quiet and centered, you create a space where you can observe the noise around you without becoming swept up in it. You become like that still water, unaffected by the turbulence on the surface. This is how true peace is cultivated, not by avoiding the noise, but by learning to navigate it without losing your balance. Staying quiet doesn't mean being passive or apathetic. It means that you're choosing to respond rather than react. Reacting is impulsive. It's driven by the noise, by emotions, and by the urgency of the moment. Responding, on the other hand, comes from a place of awareness, understanding, and choice. When the world around you is loud, it can be tempting to react impulsively, to get caught up in the drama, to add your voice to the noise. But when you choose to stay quiet, you allow yourself to take a deep breath and respond with intention. You don't have to engage with every issue or respond to every demand. You can choose when to speak, when to act, and when to stay still. There's immense power in quietness. In fact, some of the most influential and successful people in history were masters of quietude. They knew that in the stillness they could think, create, and connect with their deepest thoughts and ideas. In a world that's constantly asking for more, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. It's in those moments of silence that you allow yourself to recharge, to listen, and to prepare for the next steps of your journey. One of the most beautiful things about quietness is that it brings you back to your true self. It's in those quiet moments that you can reconnect with your values, your dreams, and your purpose. The noise of the world can often cloud your vision, but when you take time to be still, you remember who you are and what you want out of life. You gain clarity, perspective, and a renewed sense of direction. So when the world is loud, take a moment to pause. Step back. Breathe deeply. Find your stillness. Because in the quiet, you'll discover that your greatest power is not in what you do, but in what you choose not to do. You don't have to add to the noise. You don't have to shout over the chaos. By staying quiet, you become the calm in the storm. Remember, silence isn't an absence of sound. It's the presence of clarity. It's the space where you can hear yourself think, reconnect with your soul, and tap into the power of your own intention. When you stay quiet amidst the loudness of the world, you unlock your true potential and open the door to deeper peace, understanding, and fulfillment. Chapter 25. Faith is a frequency. Faith isn't something you speak about in loud words or desperate pleas. It's a quiet, undeniable frequency that resonates within you, even in moments of doubt. When you believe, truly believe, that something is meant for you, you begin to align with it. Not through force, but through the simple act of trusting that the universe will respond. Faith doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It doesn't worry. It simply knows. This knowing is the frequency, the energy, that flows through every fiber of your being, telling you, this is possible. This is already yours. When you tune into this frequency, it's like you're stepping into the rhythm of the universe itself. It becomes effortless to manifest, to create. Because you aren't striving, you're aligning. You don't need to see the path ahead clearly. Faith doesn't need blueprints. It's the unwavering trust that what is meant to be will arrive, even if it doesn't show up in the way you expect. In fact, real faith often requires letting go of control and surrendering to the process. When you let go, you become a clear channel, free from the clutter of doubt, fear, and impatience. You attract what you need, not because you are chasing it, but because you have created the space to receive it. Your energy, your frequency, vibrates at a higher level, and in return, the universe matches that vibration with the right opportunities, people, and circumstances. Faith is a frequency, not a wish. It's a constant, steady signal you send out into the world. And when that signal is pure, you become a magnet for all that you desire, knowing that everything is working out for you in perfect timing. Chapter 26. Daily Rituals of Silent Strength. We often think that strength is loud. We equate it with forceful actions, busy schedules, and constant hustle. But in truth, the strongest people are often the quietest. They know the power of stillness, the power of intention, and most importantly, they know that real strength doesn't need to announce itself. It's in the calmness of our choices, the clarity of our focus, and the silent energy we carry every day. This is where true power lies, within the simple silent rituals we create each morning, each moment, each breath. Creating a daily ritual of silent strength isn't about complicating your life. It's about simplifying it, about returning to what truly matters, and shutting out the noise of a world that constantly demands more. It's about listening to your inner voice, tuning into your body's natural rhythm, and giving yourself permission to just be. The beauty of these rituals is that they don't require anything grand or elaborate. They are practices of presence, of intention, and of mindful living that cultivate inner peace and strength from the inside out. Every morning, before your feet hit the floor, you have the opportunity to set the tone for the day. You can start with a deep breath. It's a simple act, silent, yes, but one that immediately signals to your body that you are in control. Breathe deeply and with purpose. As you exhale, let go of the tension and the anxiety you may have carried with you from yesterday. Release the mental clutter that threatens to cloud your mind. This is your time to realign yourself with your inner power, to give yourself the space to be. As you move through your day, remember that silence isn't just about not speaking. It's about choosing to listen. Listen to your own thoughts, your emotions, and your body. In the rush of everyday life, we rarely take the time to really listen to ourselves, but in silence we hear the whispers of our hearts, the desires that are often drowned out by external distractions. When you carve out space to truly hear yourself, your actions become clearer, your decisions more aligned with who you truly are. You become less influenced by outside noise and more grounded in your own inner knowing. A key part of your daily ritual of silent strength is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a quiet, powerful force. It doesn't shout its presence, but it quietly transforms everything it touches. Every day, take a moment, whether it's in the morning before you rise or at night before you sleep, to reflect on what you're grateful for. Gratitude doesn't need to be loud to be felt. It's in the stillness of your heart, in the small, quiet moments of appreciation that you cultivate strength. When you wake up, express thanks for the breath you take, for the body that allows you to live, for the opportunities that lie ahead. When you go to bed, give thanks for what you've experienced throughout the day, for the lessons you've learned, and for the people who've crossed your path. Your ritual of silent strength might also include a few minutes of meditation, journaling, or simple mindfulness. These practices help to center you and keep your energy in alignment with your intention. Whether you're sitting in a quiet space with your eyes closed, or you're walking outdoors and feeling the earth beneath your feet, these practices create a connection with your inner self, a foundation from which all actions flow. These moments of stillness allow you to check in with yourself, recalibrate, and move forward with strength. One of the most profound elements of a silent strength ritual is surrender. It's the acknowledgement that you don't need to control everything. Strength is not about holding on tightly, but about knowing when to let go, trusting that the universe will meet you halfway, and that your silent intentions will manifest in their own time. This surrender isn't about giving up. It's about finding peace in knowing that you are part of something much bigger than yourself. It's about trusting the process, trusting your own power, and trusting that the right opportunities will come to you, exactly when they need to. Incorporating these rituals into your daily life doesn't require a complete overhaul of your schedule. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it with more intention. These rituals of silent strength are simple, quiet practices that build over time, creating a foundation of peace, clarity, and inner power that will guide you through the stormiest days. They are your anchor, your compass, and your source of strength in a world that often forgets how powerful stillness can be. Chapter 27. Gratitude as a silent language. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a silent language that speaks volumes, without needing a word. In a world that constantly demands more, we often overlook the quiet power of gratitude. We wait for the big moments, special occasions, or grand achievements to express it. But the true magic of gratitude isn't in the loud declarations or the celebratory toasts. It's in the small, quiet moments when you feel a deep sense of appreciation for life itself. When you express gratitude silently, you're not just acknowledging the good. You're attuning yourself to the rhythm of the universe. It's as if with every silent thank you you whisper inwardly, you align yourself with a higher vibration. It's the universe's way of acknowledging that you've understood its language, a language that doesn't require words, but one that speaks to the heart. Have you ever noticed how, when you focus on gratitude, your energy shifts? It's not about the quantity of things you're grateful for, but the quality of your recognition. A simple moment, like seeing the morning sun rise or hearing your favorite song play, can ignite a sense of peace. That quiet moment of thanks isn't something that has to be announced. It's an energy you carry with you. It's a vibration you radiate. When you offer gratitude in silence, you cultivate an inner peace that's impossible to replicate through loud, outward expressions. It's in the pause, the stillness, that the deepest gratitude is born. Just as a soft breeze can carry the scent of a flower, silent gratitude fills the space around you with a gentle, yet undeniable force. We live in a culture that loves noise. Loud celebrations, public acknowledgments, and constant validation. But there's an undeniable power in retreating to silence and simply being thankful for what you have, what you've overcome, and what's yet to come. The loudest actions aren't always the most powerful. Sometimes the most transformative moments come when we don't say anything at all. When we hold gratitude silently, we release attachment and open ourselves to receiving more in return. Gratitude as a silent language also allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. Imagine the unspoken moments in relationships where simply being present with someone without saying anything speaks volumes. The gesture of a hug, a smile, or even just sitting quietly together can convey more appreciation than 1,000 words ever could. These silent acts of gratitude communicate love, acknowledgement, and presence, creating a stronger bond than any verbal affirmation could. In the process, you begin to realize that gratitude isn't just something you give, it's something you receive. Each moment of silent thankfulness draws more positive energy into your life, and with it, more opportunities for growth, healing, and connection. It's as if the universe recognizes your silent gratitude and responds by sending more reasons for you to feel thankful. It's an ongoing loop of positive energy. So how can you begin to embrace gratitude as a silent language in your daily life? Start by pausing and acknowledging the little moments. Instead of rushing through your day, take a moment to appreciate the present. The warmth of your coffee in the morning, the joy of a kind word from a stranger, or the stillness of the night sky. Each of these is a silent offering of gratitude. You don't need to announce it, just feel it deeply within you. As you do, you'll notice how your world transforms, not because you've done anything differently, but because you've begun to speak the silent language of the universe. The beauty of silent gratitude is that it never leaves you. It's always there, waiting to be felt, waiting to be acknowledged. It's in the way you breathe, the way you move, and the way you hold space for others. This quiet appreciation is your connection to something greater than yourself, and it will continue to elevate your life moment by moment, without the need for any external validation. When you speak gratitude silently, you're speaking the language of the soul, and that is a language that will always be heard. Chapter 28. Real Stories of Silent Manifestation. Silent manifestation isn't just a theory, it's a living, breathing reality that countless people have experienced in profound ways. Take Emma, a young woman who was struggling in a job that drained her. Every day she felt stuck, but she didn't have the words to express the deeper frustration within. Instead of speaking out, she chose silence. Every night she sat alone in quiet reflection, focusing on the feeling she wanted to experience, rather than the problem she wanted to escape. She imagined waking up excited for work, thriving in an environment that nurtured her skills. Weeks later, a completely unexpected opportunity came her way. A position at a company that aligned perfectly with her passion. What made this different from a typical job search? It wasn't about applying, networking, or pushing herself into the right rooms. It was about quieting her mind, trusting her intuition, and allowing space for the universe to bring her what she'd already intended silently. Then there's Jason, a small business owner, who faced overwhelming debt and the threat of closure. For months, he ran his business with constant stress, trying every get-rich scheme he could find. But one evening, while walking his dog in the park, he realized that all his struggles came from a deep place of fear. Without saying a word, he decided to change the energy he carried. From that day forward, Jason focused only on the quiet feeling of gratitude for the success he already had, visualizing his business flourishing and serving his customers in the most meaningful ways. Months later, Jason's business not only survived but thrived, without any flashy marketing or aggressive tactics. In both of these stories, the common thread is simple. They weren't chasing their desires through loud actions or words. They were manifesting them through stillness and quiet confidence. When you remove the noise, what's meant for you can naturally flow into your life. These aren't just stories, they're examples of how the power of silent intention operates in the real world, shaping outcomes in ways we don't always expect, but always need. Chapter 29. Teaching others through your energy. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the energy shift? Perhaps someone's presence made you feel calm, inspired, or even uneasy without them saying a word. That's the silent power of energy, the unspoken force that flows through every human interaction. When you are fully aware of your own energy, it becomes a powerful tool to teach, guide, and influence others, not with your words but with the energy you radiate. Each of us has a unique energy signature that communicates far beyond the surface. Think about it. How often do you find yourself drawn to certain people not because of their words but because of the quiet strength they exude? This energy isn't just something that exists in a distant, abstract sense. It's in every glance, every posture, every small act of kindness, and every moment of stillness. The way you carry yourself speaks volumes. And when you become mindful of the energy you put out into the world, it becomes clear that you can teach others simply by being present. But how can we consciously teach through our energy? It starts with understanding the profound connection between intention and emotion. When your intentions are pure and aligned with your heart's desires, your energy naturally flows in a way that attracts, heals, and uplifts. There's no need for a carefully rehearsed speech or premeditated advice. Your energy becomes the lesson, and others absorb it without you even trying. It's the simple act of embodying peace, love, and calm in a world that often feels chaotic. Take a moment to reflect on the people who have influenced you most in your life. It's likely that some of the most impactful individuals didn't need to say much at all to make an impression. Maybe they were the ones who listened deeply, made you feel seen, or exuded an energy that helped you feel safe and understood. These are the people who subtly shaped your own thoughts, actions, and behaviors, not by lecturing you, but by leading with their presence. Their energy was their greatest teaching tool. You too can be this kind of teacher. When you are grounded in your own energy, you create an environment where others can also feel safe to explore their own. Your presence becomes a mirror, showing them that calm, self-awareness, and authenticity are possible. Sometimes the most powerful lessons are those we don't consciously try to teach. Instead, they're absorbed through the unspoken moments shared between two people. The kindness in your eyes, the peace you bring into the room, the way you handle stress or disappointment. These actions become the foundation of your energy's influence. Teaching through energy also means being aware of the energy you absorb. It's not just about what you give, it's also about what you allow to enter your space. Negative energy is contagious, but so is positive energy. When you learn to protect your energy and guard your inner peace, you set an example for others of how to live in harmony with themselves and the world around them. And when you interact with others, you'll notice that your calm presence can often neutralize tension, encourage deeper understanding, and invite more open, compassionate communication. As you continue to refine your own energy, you begin to realize something profound. Teaching through energy isn't about force or manipulation, it's about allowing. Allowing yourself to be the best version of yourself, allowing others to feel safe in your presence, and allowing the natural flow of love, wisdom, and peace to touch those around you. By simply being, you become a teacher. And in a world that often feels loud, overwhelming, and disconnected, your energy can be the gentle reminder that there's always power in stillness, always strength in softness, and always wisdom in silence. Chapter 30. Becoming the signal, you are the signal. You don't have to chase after the things you desire or scream for them to come to you. The truth is, the world is already responding to what you vibrate, what you exude from your very being. The universe listens to you, not because of the words you speak, but because of the energy you carry. Every thought, every emotion, and every intention you hold becomes a signal that is sent out into the world, shaping the reality you experience. Becoming the signal means stepping into a place of deep inner alignment. It means trusting that you are already sending out a frequency that speaks louder than any external circumstances. When you align with your highest truth, you send a clear message to the world, and it starts responding in kind. The people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your energy begin to appear naturally, without effort, without force. We often forget that we are constantly emitting energy, whether we're aware of it or not. Just like a radio station transmitting a signal, your mind and body are broadcasting your inner state to the world. It's not just about what you do or say. It's about how you feel and what you truly believe. When your energy is rooted in clarity, calm, and alignment, that's what the world receives. It's a signal that says, I am worthy, I am at peace, and I trust in the flow of life. But there's a catch. You can't fake it. You can't just say the right words, wear the right clothes, or follow the right rituals if your inner state isn't aligned with your outer actions. The world isn't listening to your surface-level behaviors. It's listening to your vibration, to the energy beneath everything you do. If you want to become a powerful signal in the world, you need to be authentic, truly authentic in how you show up. Becoming the signal means releasing the need for approval, for validation from others, or for chasing after what you think you need. It's about embodying the truth that you are already whole, already worthy, already connected to everything you desire. When you radiate that truth from the inside, you no longer feel the need to grasp for things outside of you. Instead, you allow them to come to you effortlessly. This is not about passivity. It's about active presence. When you stand in your truth, the world responds. You begin to attract the people, the opportunities, and the resources that align with the energy you emit. The process becomes almost magical. Things begin to flow in a way that feels effortless, natural. And that's because you've become the signal. You've tuned into the frequency of what you truly want, and the world is simply responding to it. To truly become the signal, you must also learn to trust. Trust that your inner guidance is leading you to the right people, places, and opportunities. Trust that the universe will provide for you, even when things don't look the way you expect. Trust that your energy is enough and that you don't have to do more or be more than you already are. And finally, becoming the signal means realizing that you are always sending out a message, whether you're aware of it or not. Every action you take, every thought you think, every emotion you feel sends a signal into the universe. So pay attention. Become mindful of what you're putting out there. Are you sending out messages of fear, doubt, and insecurity? Or are you sending out messages of peace, trust, and abundance? You have the power to shift your energy, to shift your vibration, and to shift the signal you're putting out into the world. Remember, the most powerful signal you can send is one of love. When you operate from a place of love, love for yourself, love for others, love for life, you create a frequency that is magnetic, that draws everything you need to you. And the best part? You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to hustle, chase, or beg for things to happen. They will simply come to you, drawn to the energy you are emitting. You are the signal, and the world is listening. Conclusion. Silent intention is more than just a practice. It's a way of life. It's about tapping into the unseen force that is constantly at work within you and around you. As you learn to align your thoughts, feelings, and energy with your desires, you'll find that life flows with ease and purpose. The power of silent intention lies in its simplicity, its ability to create profound change without the need for external noise or validation. Trust in the quiet, knowing that everything you need is already within you, and watch as the world shifts to meet your silent call.